YouTube, this is Jared Spawning here, and today I'll be talking about a lot of different things about silver, but basically, I guess it all leads up to what country values silver the most. And so with that, let's begin. Alright, so there's going to be a lot of different facts in this video. I'll be talking about countries importing silver, exporting it, and a few other things. But without further ado, let's begin. So let me start off by saying what the three countries that mine the most silver, and number one is Mexico, mining 162.2 million ounces. In 2013, it is not very closely followed at all by China, which mined just 117 million ounces, and then China is closely followed, however, by Peru, which mined 111.3 million ounces in 2013. Now, that is quite a lot of silver, billions upon billions of dollars worth of it, depending on what country you are in, I suppose. If you think about it, in the United Kingdom, as you probably know, silver is a lot more valuable than it is in the United States. And speaking of the United Kingdom, I'll now talk about what the countries that export the most silver. Number one is Mexico again, exporting $3,121,139,000 worth of silver, or 12.2% of all silver exported. Number two is the United Kingdom, which exported $2,992,682,000, or 11.7% of all silver exported in 2013. Number three was Canada, which exported $2,242,890,000 worth of silver, or 8.8% of all silver exported. Now, number 8 for exporting is China, which is funny because it's number 2 in production. China exported 906,741,000, or 4.3% of all silver. So it actually exported less than $1 billion worth in 2013, which is funny because if you think about it, it mined billions of dollars worth of silver. So a lot of it does stay in that country. Number 12 was Peru. Peru only exported $716,124,000 worth of silver, or 2.8% of all silver exported in 2013. However, there is something going on in Peru, clearly something. It was actually recently replaced by China. It used to be number 2 for silver mining, and then China replaced it, and it's number 3 now. However, it has had the third highest increase out of all the countries in silver exporting from 2009 to 2013. In just those 4 years, it increased 222.9%. Number 2 is Canada, increasing 242.9%, and number 1 is the United Kingdom, which exported 561.2% more silver than it did in 2009, the year of 2013. Now, that is quite a lot of silver if you think about it, but it is quite interesting that it appears as though China definitely keeps a lot of silver in its own country. China definitely values silver the most for industry because of the fact that most big companies that produce electronics are located in China. And when you're producing these electronics, you're going to need a lot of silver. You know, like there's companies like Sony, Microsoft, Apple. There's some of the largest companies in the world. You know, the largest electronic companies there are, and those use a lot of silver. You know, like I've said before, over half of all silver mined goes into computers, phones, and other electronics like that, unfortunately, meaning that a lot of silver is kind of just gone, because people aren't going to want to give up their silver from their phones. You know, they care a lot more about their phones than the silver inside, which is understandable considering the fact that the phones are extremely expensive now. To me, they seem to be a bit of a price considering the fact that the new iPhone bends so easily. It's made from a cheap metal like aluminum. But regardless, these devices are expensive, and silver is one of the reasons why they're expensive. And a lot of silver goes into them, so China has a lot of value for silver. But here's something I want to tell you guys about countries that import silver. So the countries that, you know, they need silver. Now, first of all, number one is the United States. The United States is only the 9th highest country for mining silver, meaning that it does have to import a decent amount in order to supply its huge population, since it does have the 3rd highest in the world. And the U.S. imported approximately 3.43 million pounds of silver as of 2013. Number 2 would be Japan, importing 1.86 million. Number 3 is Switzerland, 1.85 million. Number 8 is China, with just 348,281. And then here's something that I found pretty funny. Peru, I'm starting to think, really doesn't need much silver, because they're number 78, and they only imported 58 pounds of silver. That's it. 58 pounds. I guess, though, when you mine 111.3 million ounces, you don't need to import that much. But I'm thinking, what was the point of even importing any at all? So, in Peru is actually one of the lowest countries for silver importing, and it's I guess you could consider it one of the highest for exporting it. You know, I guess they probably keep more silver than China does, but then again, China also does import a decent amount of silver. And like I said before, silver is very needed in China. China has the 2nd highest population. A lot of people there. There's a lot of people there, over 1 billion, and a lot of them have smartphones. And a lot of people in the U.S. have smartphones, and a lot of people buy them and want them. And so silver is needed to supply these demands. So I'm going to take a guess right now and say China probably values silver the most for industry. But I still really don't know what country values silver the most just as a whole. You know, maybe some country that views it as religious. You know, a lot of countries do kind of worship gold almost. So I'm sure there's a few that also greatly believe that silver is very, very sacred. And it is sacred because of how rare it is. And with that, I guess I'll say peace, love, and much respect. But before I go, make sure to tell me anything you'd like to see in future videos in the comment section, as well as what you thought about this video. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And even if you didn't enjoy the video, still comment and tell me why you didn't like the video. With that, I'll be now saying peace, love, and much respect.